When you open a tube of paint, you're actually holding a little bit of magic in your hands. It might look simple, just a squeeze of color, but inside that tube is a world of possibility waiting to be unleashed. Each time you twist off the cap, you're connecting to centuries of creativity and innovation. Inside, there's so much more than just color. There's chemistry, history, and honestly, the power to transform blank spaces into works of art. The pigments and binders inside have been carefully chosen and blended, sometimes using techniques passed down through generations, sometimes using cutting-edge science. Every tube is a tiny time capsule holding stories of discovery and invention. Paint is all around us, from the walls of our homes to masterpieces hanging in museums. It's in the murals that brighten city streets, the colors that define our favorite rooms, and the iconic works that have shaped art history. Whether it's a bold splash of color or a subtle wash, paint has the power to change how we feel about a space. Every brushstroke tells a story, but have you ever wondered how that story actually begins? It starts long before the brush touches the canvas, with the creation of the paint itself. The journey from raw materials to a finished masterpiece is full of fascinating steps and hidden details. Just think about it. Paint can brighten a room, protect a bridge from rust and weather, or even tell the story of an entire civilization through ancient murals and pottery. It's a tool for both beauty and function, shaping the world in ways we often take for granted. The journey from raw materials to a rainbow in a jar is, well, both fascinating and complex. It starts with minerals, plants, or even synthetic compounds, which are ground and refined into vibrant pigments. These pigments are then blended with oils, water, or acrylics to create the perfect consistency and color. Each tube or can of paint is the result of careful science and creative thinking. Chemists and artists work together to ensure the colors are bright, the texture is smooth, and the paint lasts for years. It's a process that balances tradition with innovation. It's a blend of art and industry, mixed together just right. Machines and human hands both play a role, from the high-tech factories that produce thousands of gallons to the artists who mix their own unique shades. Paint is not just a product, it's honestly a tool for creativity and change. It empowers artists to express themselves, helps children learn and explore, and even brings communities together through public art. It shapes our environments and our imaginations. The colors we choose can inspire us, calm us, or energize us, turning ordinary places into something extraordinary. The process of making paint is filled with discovery, precision, and a touch of wonder. Every batch is tested and tweaked to make sure it's just right, and every new color is a small adventure in creativity. So let's dive into the colorful world of paint making and discover how simple ingredients become the magic we use every day. From the first spark of inspiration to the final stroke on a canvas, paint is a story of transformation, one that continues every time you open a new tube and let your imagination flow. Long before there were factories and chemistry labs, people found color in the world around them. Early humans were keen observers of nature, noticing the vibrant hues in stones, plants, and even the earth beneath their feet. They saw color not just as decoration, but as a way to express themselves and communicate with others. Early humans made pigments from rocks, plants, and even insects. They experimented with whatever they could find, learning which materials produced the brightest or most lasting colors. Sometimes, they would travel far from home to gather special stones or rare plants, showing just how important color was to them. They crushed minerals like ochre and charcoal to make reds, yellows, and blacks. These earthy pigments were ground into fine powders using simple stone tools, a process that could take hours of careful work. The resulting colors were rich and deep, perfect for painting on cave walls or decorating their bodies. Sometimes they used berries or flowers to create bright but short-lived colors. These natural dyes faded quickly, but their vividness made them popular for special occasions or rituals. Early artists learned to mix different ingredients to create new shades, always searching for the perfect color. These first artists painted on cave walls, telling stories of hunts and dreams. Their art was more than decoration. It was a way to record important events, share beliefs, and connect with others in their community. Their pigments were mixed with animal fat, water, or even spit to make them stick. This made the colors last longer and helped them adhere to rough stone surfaces. The process was messy, but it was essential for creating lasting images. Every handprint and animal shape was a message across time, using colors found in nature. These marks are some of the earliest evidence of human creativity and the desire to leave a mark on the world. As civilizations grew, so did their color palettes. People discovered new sources of pigment and developed more advanced techniques for making and applying color. The Egyptians made blue from ground lapis lazuli, a rare stone from far away. This brilliant blue was reserved for royalty and the gods, symbolizing power and divinity. The Romans used crushed snails to make royal purple. This dye was so expensive and difficult to produce that only the wealthiest could afford it, making purple a symbol of status and authority. Each new pigment was a discovery and sometimes a secret. Recipes for making certain colors were closely guarded, passed down through generations of artists and craftsmen. From the start, color was precious. Some pigments were worth more than gold, treasured for their beauty and rarity. It marked status, told stories, and brought beauty to daily life. The colors chosen for pottery, clothing, and murals reflected the values and beliefs of each culture. The search for new colors shaped trade, art, and even science. The desire for rare pigments led to exploration, innovation, and the sharing of knowledge across continents, forever changing the way people saw and understood the world. Some ancient pigments were so rare, they were actually worth more than gold. The deep blue of ultramarine came from lapis lazuli, mined in distant Afghanistan and carried across deserts. Only the richest could afford it. Purple, made from thousands of sea snails, was reserved for emperors and kings. Artists guarded their recipes closely. A single mistake could ruin a painting or waste precious materials. In the words of artist Leonardo da Vinci, the painter who draws merely by practice and by eye without any reason is like a mirror which copies everything placed in front of it without being conscious of their existence. Pigments were treasures, traded across continents. Their rarity made them symbols of power and mystery. The quest for new colors drove explorers and inspired inventors. Today we can find almost any color we want, but the story of paint is still about discovery, creativity, and the value of what we make. Modern paint is, well, a clever mix of four main ingredients: pigment, binder, solvent, and additives. Each one has a special job to do. Pigment gives paint its color. These tiny particles can be natural or synthetic. They make red, blue, yellow, and honestly every shade in between. Without pigment, paint would be colorless. The binder is like glue. It holds the pigment together and helps it stick to surfaces. Common binders include acrylic, oil, or latex. The choice of binder affects how the paint dries and how long it lasts. Solvents make paint easy to spread. They thin the mixture so it can be brushed, rolled, or sprayed. Water is the most common solvent, but some paints use oils or chemicals. The solvent evaporates as the paint dries. Additives are the secret helpers. They can make paint dry faster, resist mold, or shine brighter. Each additive gives paint special properties, making it perfect for different jobs. The journey of paint making begins with the meticulous process of measuring and mixing. It's not just about throwing ingredients together, it's about precision and care. Each ingredient is carefully weighed and then combined in these massive vats, where the magic of transformation starts. Machines take over the stirring, ensuring that the pigment is evenly distributed throughout the mixture, creating a uniform color. Achieving the perfect balance is crucial. Too much pigment results in a thick, gritty texture, while too little leaves the color weak and unsatisfying. Mixing might appear straightforward, but it's a precise science. The sequence in which ingredients are added can significantly impact the final product. Sometimes pigments need to be wetted first. This step ensures they blend smoothly, avoiding clumps and inconsistencies. Binders are introduced gradually, ensuring that every particle is thoroughly coated, which is essential for the paint's durability and finish. Solvents play a vital role, helping the components move and mix together seamlessly, creating a fluid and workable paint. In large-scale factories, computers meticulously control the entire process, ensuring precision and consistency. They ensure that every batch maintains the same quality, from the first drop to the last, guaranteeing reliability. This level of consistency is crucial for artists, builders, and anyone who relies on dependable color for their work. Mixing is the foundational step in transforming raw materials into something both beautiful and functional, setting the stage for the next steps. It truly sets the stage for what comes next, ensuring the paint is smooth, ready to be applied, and capable of bringing visions to life. After mixing, the paint is still rough. Pigment particles can clump together, making the color uneven. That's where grinding comes in. Machines called mills crush and roll the mixture, breaking down the pigment until it's fine and smooth. Grinding is like making flour from grain. The finer the grind, the brighter and more even the color. Some mills use tiny beads or stones to help, others use rollers or high-speed blades. The goal is always the same, perfect, even color that lasts. Once ground, the paint is blended again. This makes sure every drop is the same, with no streaks or lumps. Blending can take hours, but it's worth it for a flawless finish. This step is crucial for quality. Smooth paint goes on easily and looks better. It also helps the paint last longer, resisting cracks and fading. Before paint leaves the factory, it must be filtered and tested. Filtering removes any lumps or impurities. Fine screens or even centrifuges are used to catch anything that shouldn't be there. This ensures the paint is smooth and safe to use. Testing is just as important. Scientists check the color, thickness, drying time, and durability. They might paint test panels and expose them to sun, rain, or even chemicals. Only the best batches pass these tests. Quality control is a mix of science and art. Machines measure things like color and texture, but people still use their eyes and hands. A good paint maker knows what perfect paint looks and feels like. Every can of paint is a promise. Quality control makes sure that promise is kept from the factory to your wall. Paint science never stops. Today, researchers are inventing new kinds of paint that are safer, smarter, and more sustainable. Eco-friendly paints use fewer chemicals and release less pollution. Some are made from plants or recycled materials. They're better for our health and the planet. Nanotechnology is making paint stronger and more versatile. Tiny particles can make paint resist dirt, kill germs, or even reflect heat. Smart paints can change color with temperature or light. Some can even sense pollution and clean the air. These new paints are changing how we live and work. Buildings stay cooler, hospitals stay cleaner, and artists get new tools to express themselves. The possibilities are endless. As technology advances, paint becomes more than just color. It becomes a tool for solving problems and creating a better world. As the artist Pablo Picasso once said, colors, like features, follow the changes of the emotions. Paint connects science, industry, and art. It shapes our world and our feelings, one brushstroke at a time. The story of paint is still being written. New colors, new materials, and new uses are being discovered every day. From ancient caves to smart cities, paint is part of our journey. The next time you open a tube of paint, remember the history, the science, and the creativity inside. Who knows what you might create? The world of paint is full of surprises, waiting for you to mix, grind, blend, and dream. Let your imagination run wild. The future of paint is as bright and colorful as you can imagine.